Hey everybody, how you doing? You know what time it is? I know what time it is. That's right. It's time for sint-text live. How you guys doing? I'm doing okay if I can get this camera to fit right like it's supposed to, because it keeps falling over and leaning. I don't know why. Maybe I need a new stand. But as it stands now, I see the whole bunch of people here in the chat box, and I don't have too much more on my intro. So let me just readjust my tuning here, and let's get to it.
Reactor online. Sensors online. Weapons online. All systems nominal.
That's right. We're all nominal here. At least I hope so. I haven't had a chance to. Well, I had a chance to shave this morning. I forgot. So, first things first. I hope that all you are doing good. We finally passed the 30-second mark when we're on here, so at least I can get rid of all those commercials they never pay me for. I want to bring up a couple things as we start. One, there's supposed to be weather rolling in here in the next hour or two. So if the stream drops, I will try one time to reconnect. If it does not reconnect, we're done for the night. We don't play that game around here because honestly, it gets really, really screwed up. It's happened before. You guys have been with me before. You know how it operates. So also, I just want to give you a heads up. Thank you guys for helping over the week. I appreciate that. It was really, really appreciated. Wanted to bring up this. Yes, you guys remember unboxing last week with the new piece of equipment here, the Rodecaster Duo. I hold it up higher, but the camera's kind of caught up in the cords. I would have it set up more. Unfortunately, I need to go get another piece of equipment that goes with it. The current equipment I have is kind of, well, I hate to say it this way, but El Cheapo starter bullshit. And it is what it is, folks. It is what it is. And before I get too far, I'm going to pop a top, raise a glass to you guys and your health, and we'll get moving. Also, I have been trying to get some of the soundboard for some reason is not downloading from the online download side actually into files. I've been having some trouble with that, so I haven't been able to throw any more on the soundboard I got now. Hopefully they work in tandem with each other, because when they do, I can actually do something very interesting, because I found out on this new piece of equipment that it actually has voice changers built in. You guys know I suck at doing voices. Like seriously, I'm horrible at them. And what you guys don't know is many times if I'm doing several voices, literally have to pause and hack my brains out and friggin' hock a loogie right into the trash can, because it's just horrible. So I'm not Robin Williams. It'd be nice if I was. The guy plays Howard on Big Bang Theory. I'm just not into it. So it's going to help. I do have to be a little bit more on it. Like I said, I need a couple pieces of equipment, and I have to adjust a couple things on it. So hopefully everything actually works out well, and then it's going to make it a whole lot easier for me to do the work for you guys. And for some reason, I hit the button.
Hold up. Wait a minute. Something ain't right.
Actually, something is right, because we already got our first super chat for the night. And let me get this down. It is from the MTF Yard. And he says, this one's a bit tight, but ain't going to miss a week to support you unless I'm dead. Please don't be. Actually, am I alive? Nope, I'm fucked. I'm dead. Okay. Plus, just got a refund on a game I realized I could get for free. So free $20 back. Yeah, games. That's always good. Free money. Hey, I'm all for it. And after seeing the receipt inside for this thing, I can imagine how much the money it was. So thank you very much, Guard. I appreciate it very, very, very much. And I thank all of you for at least being here. Believe it or not, your support means the world to me. Now, on to the actual channel, because I didn't have too much more on the intro besides what I already hit. The one that came out this week, In Cadence, Part 2, okay? For those of you who don't know military cadences, they got integrated in the story. That was a request from one of you. And actually, the past one had two different cadences in there. One was down by the river, took a little walk, ran into, and you're actually supposed to rip on another unit. And then, pushed them, kicked them, threw them in the river, and laughed while they drowned. Ha ha ha. That's just the way the infantry cadences are. It's all about you're either killing something, maiming something, or fucking something. I mean, it's just, there's no in between on that. But guess what? Those of you who put in the guesswork, yes, the first one that was out was Yellowbird. The additional cadences, god damn it. The additional parts to that one is Little Kitty. And I don't know if you guys ever heard that, because most people don't do that. And that's the one that In Cadence was based off of. Yes, Erica, Tiny Bubbles. Yeah, that's more of an actual song. I started doing that when a lot of these cadences started getting too edgy for people. I'm offended by the cadence. Well, then don't listen to it. Wah. But yeah, I'm not going to sing Tiny Bubbles here. But, Tiny Bubbles in my wine. Makes me happy, makes me feel fine. You go all the way to Tiny Bubbles in the beer, Tiny Bubbles in the house, Tiny Bubbles in my bong, like makes you happy like Cheech and Chong, all that fun stuff. But with the kitty, it's and yes, that whole joke in there where the wife is like, I guess if you need some pussy, you need some meat. Yes, that is a line from the cadence. I had to put that in just like I did with Yellowbird. And I wanted to do another cadence one, and then I realized I would be in a lot of trouble for doing Up Jump the Monkey. If you guys know that one, you know why I would get in trouble. This whole channel would get demonetized like that. And it's getting difficult, folks. And the AI is just not, the algorithm is not liking me right now. I don't know for what reason. I can guess. And my only guess right now is the fact that there are so many AI channels that the whole place is getting flooded. You'd be amazed. Actually, I bet you guys know exactly what I'm talking about, because you probably see them as well. I personally hit "Don't show me this channel ever again," and it seems to help a little bit. And then every once in a while, I'll go into those channels, see how many views they got. It's been up for a month. You got 5 views, and you go and you check, and this one person has like 70 or 80 channels. And they're all doing the same thing. Pissing me off. Okay. Let's see. In the comments section, somebody actually saw with the little kitty. Yes. Bad kitty. Yes, you are 100% right on that. So, you know what? I didn't get it hooked up. I wanted to hit a certain button on that one. Let's see. On the next one that came out, I believe it was last Thursday, was the Leftovers. If you ever watched Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, the original, you know why I said it that way. Oh boy, Leftovers. And was kind of the inspiration for that story to start with. But I do have to apologize, guys. It was brought up to one of you that it seemed like it was almost a do-over of a similar story that I had done not too long ago. I think that one just got stuck in my brain pan and just wouldn't come out. Both of which could be extended, but I'm hesitant to do so. They were not meant to be. I always leave something with the ability to be extended, even though it wasn't actually meant to be that way. They're supposed to be sections of a life, not the whole life. And not the monkey, Erica says. Thank you for everything. Well, thank you, Erica, for sending your $5 super chat. And I'm writing this down. Hold on, guys. Okay. Thank you again, Erica, MTF Guard, and all of you for being here. Now, as far as Leftovers goes, again, apologize for that. And somebody said, you got to save the cuteness. You evil genius. I missed that. I totally freaking missed it. You beautiful people sometimes. And my head just turned on that same one, because we got a $20 super chat from the SS Demon. Let me write this down before I miss you. And he says, I've been watching your other channels, Crazy Uncle and Simple Truths. Those have been combined, by the way. And I shared them on Discord so others can watch them if they want. I haven't watched them all yet, but I'm working on it. Been watching, liked all your other vids. Now, if you guys are actually going to go watch those, I did condense the Simple Truths and Back to Basics. I was, at the time, I had like 4 channels going at the same time because I didn't know where I was going to get my feet under me. And this one turned out to be the primary one. I unfortunately do not have a lot of time to put on other channels at the moment. I keep getting called away for other stuff. And
Hold up. Wait a minute. Something ain't right.
but something is right because we got a $5 super chat from Joseph Blosh. And let me write this down so I don't miss you. Hopefully I'm still not mispronouncing your name. And it says, missed last week. Cheers. Yeah, last week was real short. Didn't have a lot to go over. It is what it is. And sometimes that's just the way these go. I'm not Armstrong Gold. I don't have it set up. I've been trying to get StreamYard set up and something isn't working. I'm actually in contact with them to try and fix it. So we'll see how that goes. But thank you very much, Joseph, Demon, and everybody else. Like I said, the other channels are very different. All right. Understand that and understand it. All that. I do not touch politics. I graze on social stuff here. When it comes to the Crazy Uncle channel, I actually dive really, really deep in it. Okay. And you might not like me so much after you see those because I can have some really strong opinions on certain things. I don't want to get into them here because this channel is not for that. Pure and simple, it's not. So if you think it might change the way you see this channel, then don't watch them. Just enjoy what you got. It's the same thing as when I tell people, oh, I could ruin every single Disney movie for you. I don't because you enjoy it. But if you want me to, I will. And it's just that simple. So, by the way, the Crazy Uncle channel is the only one I've had a video 100% demonetized, and YouTube told me I will never, ever get it monetized again. I don't even know it's still up there. So, after I did leftovers, on here was, and I actually changed the name. It was supposed to be The Summoned, but I didn't think that had enough, pop to it. So I did Something Familiar. And somebody brought up a show called Drifters. Guys, I don't know what that was. It sounds a lot like Sliders, honestly. But I'm at a loss. If there's anything that matches between that and Drifters, I haven't seen it. If I did see it, I don't remember it. It's just that simple. Yeah. Now somebody said that the cliffhanger drove you guys nuts. Well, the cliffhanger was supposed to be there for good reason. Now, I did mention this story a few weeks back. So if you remember that, please do not spoil it for others. I ask you that. We try to avoid spoilers as much as possible around here. But you can have a rough idea what's happening. I will say this, though. A lot of people have been saying there needs to be a part 2 because it was very, very, very in-depth. Tell you what, part 2 has been written. I have got part 2 right here. It is about 10 pages long, roughly. And it's, hold on, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7.5 pages. Okay, so not 10, but still, as I'm going, if I see it needs adjustment, I adjust it so it's actually longer. If I just have something of notes, it's about 2.5 minutes per page. That's about how much I get out of reading time. However, for a page this in-depth here, takes me about 45 minutes to an hour just to do one page. I mean, as far as writing. Reading it's obviously going to be a whole lot quicker. And if you're wondering why I don't just type it out, well, I can't type that fast. It's just that simple. I used to be able to. They gave me one of the shots when I was a kid because you need your shots, and it scrambled my fucking brains, And it got even worse when they get, oh, you have to get your flu shot. When I was living in Buffalo, and next thing I know, as I'm typing, everything's backwards. What I didn't read backwards, I didn't write backwards, but I typed backwards. I had to retrain my brain. So yeah, I'm not a fan of the bend over and here's your foreign substance being forced into your body through a cylindrical object. That sounds a little messed up. Anyway, again, cliffhanger there for something familiar was meant to be there. Part 2 is done. However, somebody brought this up. I won't mention who. Crisp decided to put in that something like this seems hard to write. Yes and no. It's only hard to write if your brain does not allow you to adjust all the subtext and everything like that. Now, I will say this. You all know, as it was mentioned, that a person summons 3 times in their life, which means at any given point, any person can have up to 3 additional creatures around them at one time. That is totally belonging to them. Up to, no more than that. However, nothing's going to say that the lifespan of said creatures is going to be all that long. So, I mean, how long does a bird live? If you get a really big dog, they don't live so long. So, you just got to keep that in mind. But yeah, I was told that somebody went back again and there was a lot of subtext in there. Yes, there was a whole lot of subtext in there. And I will say this, if you listen to a certain lady's, how do I put this? Her nickname, it doesn't fit anymore. Because a lot of nicknames in a lot of societies, especially when you're young, are based off your physical appearance. I knew somebody, he was a ginger. They called him Red. So what? He didn't care. He thought it was funny. Hell, his father thought it was funny, and he had brighter red hair than anyone else. You'd swear he was the Joker looking for, a way to blow up a hospital to scare Batman. But anyway, all right. Again, there wasn't much in the way of notes, so it's going to be fairly fast. As for you guys, got to let me know when it comes to something familiar, if something doesn't make sense. Please, 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 please let me know so I can address it. If I miss, I'm not perfect by any stretch. So if I miss something, you guys got to let me know. Put it in the comment section, please, for the love of God, so I can make quality stuff. I don't like making shit. All right. On to something that seemed like it took a shit. Delicacy. The one that came up as in the delicacy. Yeah, apparently that one didn't get a lot of views because I didn't put kind of an exciting title on it or anything like that. But yeah, somebody said that was going to be foxy behavior, stealing the eggs. That was a thought when I first started out, but I figured there was going to be a certain pair of people, War Sniper America, that might get a little pissed off when the foxies were going to be the bad guys. So that's why I didn't do it, because honestly, I didn't want to hear something from those guys. You bastard. Why is it like half the time I hit my soundboard and it works, and other times it doesn't? It's delayed as all hell. I don't get it. I don't know, something with a computer. Maybe it takes some time here. I don't know. But you fucking soundboard. Okay, I'll leave that one alone then. Down to this last one that came out, which you guys seem to enjoy. Please call off the humans. In the comment section, well, it was pretty interesting because one of the first ones was from, well, actually, no, that wasn't from Demon. Demon, you actually, this is something, guys, be careful. Make sure you're still subscribed, because Demon, I saw that you had to resubscribe to this channel. And I was like, what in the ever-loving fuckle knuckles is going on with that? You've been here for a long time. You should always be subscribed. The problem is the tube of you that we are on at the moment loves to unsubscribe people randomly. I don't know why it is. There's somebody with a bug shoved so far up their ass, antennae are coming out their nose. It's just, it is the way it is. So please make sure you are still subscribed, guys. And also somebody said the thumbs up wasn't responding. If you guys have watched that one and you haven't done a thumbs up, let me know if it's not working, because I need to contact the server and be like, what the fuck? Okay, I appreciate it when you guys help me out on that. You guys kind of got ahead of me on that one when you said the bugs, they look hungry. Forget the bullets, get some raid. Yeah, there's not enough raid for something that's literally the size of you or bigger. In that case, this is what makes me laugh about a lot of these shows where they show big bugs, you shoot them 50 times and they just kind of keep going at you. No, at that point, their insides would scramble just like anything else, especially if you hit them with a high caliber weapon. And let's face it, you guys have all seen the video where the guy's playing Freedom with every time they hit the base, he's firing a freaking Barrett 50 cal. I'm like, that, wow. See, this is why I wanted StreamYard, so I could just click a button and bring that one up. But anyways, you're right on that. Somebody brought in the fact that humans would be very xenophobic to giant insects. Yeah, we just have a natural dislike of, well, most of us, not all of us. Most of us have a general dislike for insects. Not exactly fear. There is a good reason for a genetic fear that goes in for certain things like snakes or spiders, because some of them are venomous and a lot of times you can't tell what's what. It is what it is. And somebody also brought up that, as I mentioned before, good story beginnings, even though they're supposed to be one-shots. Sue me if I'm good at what I do. I mean, they're meant to be fragments. If they can be extended and there's enough views, like when I with something familiar, that got a lot of views. Just like, I might not want to mention who or what or where in the hell did I just put it? You know, I just had everything right in front of me, and I swear, oh, here it is. It's on the other side. Yeah, I know you guys like the one, please call off the humans. Guess what? Part 2 is done. Part 2 is waiting until after this stream is over so I can send out the thank yous to everybody over the week, and then it's going to get posted. So hopefully you guys get it. I had I almost punched my computer, folks. I seriously almost hit my computer because it was pissing me off so much. I was able to fix it, but there might be a little discrepancy in a little bit of the audio because the system, and I didn't want to record the whole thing all over again. So if it sounds a little off at 1 or 2 points, I apologize for that, but hopefully it didn't delete entire sections. Had to go through it twice. Just, Boy. Let's see. Where was I? Yep. That's the end of the notes as far as the content was concerned for over the week. If you guys got any more concerns, whatever, complaints, by all means, chat box. And I got my notebook right here, just waiting for you guys to tell me what's what. Okay. Now, I did want to go over, this is one fun for you guys, the nuisance streamers. I don't know if you guys seen that. People who are just assholes just for clicks and views and likes and shit like that. They're getting their comeuppance. Thank you, God. These guys deserve all the beatdowns they get. The guy who is in Japan who decided to set up his speaker in the middle of the subway and do a backflip forgets that in that culture, if you're making noise, you better be having a medical emergency. You don't make a lot of noise in public. It better be, because that's going to make everybody look. All right. And the fact that they're insulting people, plus those idiots break dancing on the subway, harassing young girls. Over in fucking Japan and Korea, if you see a girl in one of those sailor outfits, she's underage, motherfucker. Leave her alone. When I was over in Korea and I heard about that, I looked at my guy square in the eye and said, I swear to Christ, if I find you guys fucking around with those girls in sailor outfits, I'm going to beat your ass into the ground. And it wasn't just me either. Here comes, I think, well, yeah, one platoon sergeant, two platoon leaders, another like four squad leaders. They were right there with me screaming up a storm. You don't do that. I mean, when that nuisance streamer took a bullet to the chest, I'm sitting there going, joy, yay. Next time, shoot his little dick off, yay. Then again, I don't think a freaking Soviet sniper could hit anything that small, even at point blank range. But yeah, was it? There's one over in Thailand or Indonesia right now. He's looking at 20 years in prison. They got another one. He's just got pulled over in another Asian country. He might be spending about 8 months in there where he's trying to like pick fights with the cops and stuff. I'm like, dude, no, these guys, I don't care how big and broad you are. They're going to hold you down and do very bad things to you. And I don't mean exactly what you're thinking. I mean, they're going to hold you down and start removing digits. Okay. Maybe your ears, you might be missing a nose. Pretty boy, you're not going to be when you come back. Trust me. A lot of those prisons, they don't care how violent those offenders are. They're just going to throw them in there. But still, the nuisance streamers, fuck them. They deserve everything they get. I have here AI channels as well. These AI channels are pissing me off. I don't know about you guys, but they bore the shit out of me. Every once in a while, I listen to one just to see, am I missing anything? No, I'm not. 40 minutes of And the thing is, I had it in here, but I forgot where I wrote it down. Anyway, AI cannot do a twist. They cannot do backwards planning. They cannot do actually forward planning forward planning is the wrong phrase, but they can't do that. They can't have any of that because it's not part of their algorithm. If a twist was in the algorithm, you'd have 4 or 5 twists literally every so many minutes. Exactly. There will be another twist to the story, to the point where the story is so twisted it doesn't make any sense. It's like, oh, the butler did it. But the butler's woman, so the butler's a maid. Oh wait, the maid couldn't have done it because the butler did. And it's just it's going around and it just loses everything. Okay, but I will say this, guys. Again, thank you for supporting an actual author, an actual creator, and not some AI bullshit. Thank you. All right, on to a different subject here. I don't know if you guys seen, but a lot of solar activity. So don't be surprised if your electronics act a little weird lately, as in really, really, really fucked up. It's just what it is. Solar activity controls a lot of things, to include how well we think. If there's too much or too little solar activity, you might just have one of those days where you're walking around in a brain fog and you have no idea why. Do yourself a favor. If you're feeling a little off or feeling a little too good, you might want to check the solar activity to see, oh, hey, if there's another solar flare like that, maybe I'll schedule to go out and do something, be ultra productive or something like that. Now, a lot of people say, oh, watch out for the full moon for the same reason. The gravitational yank pulls on our lizard brain, activates it. That's why Luna, then the monster comes out during the full moon, yada, yada, yada. Now, a lot of people are talking about pole shifts, the potential for pole shifts. The pole shifts all the time. So this one, to me, until something big happens, is only going to be good or only worth anything, again, if something big happens. Until then, it's another ozone layer. It's another global warming. It's another one of those. And I swear people, oh, it's climate change. Well, the climate constantly changes. So do we. You know, my yard just changed 2 days ago because we got a couple trees knocked down. My downstairs has changed because we just got our chicks today. And I mean chicks. little Rhode Island Reds. And right now they're a little skittish. I got to go in there tomorrow, start picking them up and do the petting thing so they calm down and they don't freak out when I'm around. So, yeah, the pole shift thing. The only thing that makes me wonder is the fact that if you look at the map of Bill Gates buying all his new land and then match that to the pole shift map where they actually show different parts of the
Hold up. Wait a minute. Something right.
actually something is very right because we got $50 from Sir. How you doing, sir? I appreciate that very, very much. He doesn't have a super chat, just a super sticker, but it's super that you're here, sir, and I hope you're doing very well. Still wondering if the you got onto that regiment that I sent you and if it's worked out anything, or I hope you're at least feeling better at very least. So yeah, thank you again. I greatly appreciate it. And everybody, if you have a drink currently and you're not busy, raise a glass to the sir's health. Let's give him all the best we can. Alrighty. So, jumping down here, there's some really interesting stuff going when it comes to actually science fact that people originally thought was science fiction. And I've always said science fiction is science fiction for only so long. Keep that in mind. Science fiction is only science fiction for so long. Now, this is another one where I wanted StreamYard so I could actually bring up the video and show you guys. But they've actually found a way with just 3 of the 4 numerical values in DNA sequencing. They started working on rabbits originally to start bringing back things like vision. And this is basically CRISPR program level shit. And all it does is it actually doesn't regenerate, it rejuvenates the eye. I'm going to say that one again. Not regenerate, it rejuvenates. It brings you back to your younger portion with 80% efficiency. But before you get confused, that when they did 80%, they say that they went either from didn't have any repair or rejuvenation to 100%. So on average, it's somewhere around 80. So anywhere from 100 to 60% full vision return. Holy shit. Then they tested it on different parts of the animal and it worked the same way. They've been trying it on non-primates. Last I heard that they were just starting their trials on primates. Guys, this is fucking huge. And so far, there hasn't been any type of mutations or anything like that. I'm looking forward to it. I actually am. Honestly, if I could take a freaking syringe the size of this fucking bottle and jab my dad with that same stuff, I'd walk out there right now. He could kick and scream. He could punch me in the face for all I give a shit. But he's freaking getting that shot and he's getting rejuvenated. Again, very different between the two. I had shoulder surgery. They can't regenerate the parts that are being held together with staples right now. But I can still be younger and I still, recover a lot faster. It is what it is. So, yeah. Guys, I can't even stress how absolutely ginormous this is. And again, science fiction is only science fiction for so long. And for those of you who don't believe me, where was it? It was either through Barry Stepp or Nexor News, or maybe it was the Ted's Terror. I forget. I watch at least one of those per day because they give me some inspiration for my work. But holy shit, some of the stuff that comes out is just it'll hurt your brain. It will seriously hurt your brain. But on that note, like I said, anyone who wasn't here before, the new soundboard I showed last week is not hooked up. I need some other equipment for it. In particular, I need the new headphones, and I need a different hookup in the back. Once I have those, I'm good to go. Voice changers and everything's going to make it a whole lot easier. So now that my notes have finished, and I'm trying to make sure they don't slide off in front of me, hopefully.
Congratulations, you played yourself.
Oh, wrong button. Sorry, guys. I was saying hopefully it's not this.
It was at this moment that he knew he fucked up.
As I go over here to the chat box, and I still see everybody. I see Sir, Joseph, Demon, Erica, and Guard is up here. Thank you very much. I very, very, very much appreciate it, guys. Let's see. First, everybody's saying hi, evening. Let's see. Douglas says, got some good news on two fronts. Okay, good. I'm already all ears. Literally, I got big ears. Of course, it's not the only thing that's big. Anyways, my youngest daughter told me I will be a grandfather. No shit. VA admitted that part of the damage to my thyroid was partly military cause and maybe getting raised on my disability. Wow, really? That's always good. Guys, if you don't know, it is very, very difficult to raise your disability rating. Me, I'm still sitting at 60 because I was stupid enough to not fall down on the floor screaming when I popped my knee. You know, whatever. That's not me. Unfortunately, I'm too honest, and it's bit me in the ass and kicked me in the nuts and stomped on my neck too many times. But you know, I'm stubborn that way. But still, Douglas, that's good shit, man. It'd be nice if I could make my father a grandfather, but you know, I can't even get a woman drunk enough to go out with me. So, but anyways, yes, just like Demon says, congratulations. Yep, and that is awesome, man. Now, here's the fun thing: since you're the grandfather, guess what? You only have to be there a little bit of time, and then you can load them up with sugar, get them riled up, and then send them back to the parents. They're your problem now. Maniacal laugh. That's another button I was trying to get, and unfortunately it wouldn't come out. I wanted that from the Muppets movie. Anyways, War Sniper says, Sin, I reached 99 kilograms of weight, EU circulation, so I'm under 100, but I'm stuck between 99 and 100, and for now, haven't found a way to break through it. Okay. I've done this. I've had this happen before when I was going through one of my diets, and I've dieted several times during my life, and I might have to go on another one too. What happens is it's the same thing that happens when you're actually working out. You hit a plateau going up, and it takes a lot before you actually break the plateau, and then you start going up again. You're going down, you hit the plateau. Your body doesn't want to go down no matter how hard you pull. All you can do is force the body to go through whatever your diet is. If you have to slow down a little bit, so you're taking smaller increments off your body instead of trying to take you 1 full kilo at a time, maybe it's just a couple of grams. Whatever it is, as long as you're improving, that's the key. And once you get past that plateau, it's going to get a lot easier. But yeah, hey, you reached your part of your goal here, which is really awesome, man. Really good. And as for someone who knows, it's really hard to go down in weight. Once that gets on you, it's especially when it's on you for a couple of years, it's very hard. I enter joke here, guys. I'm sorry. Okay. Guard says, I wonder if you've seen any of the stuff I sent you a while ago. I'm not sure. You guys know I'm horrible at checking emails, so I got to go in and double check that. Keep in mind, I haven't sent anything since I talked about some of the older stuff. I talked about 2 or 3 streams ago. Okay, well, yeah. Douglas saying, yeah, Coconut Grove is too funny. Yeah, it can. Considering how it's supposed to be done, yeah, you can get in trouble just for saying that M word that's in the beginning. I'm not kidding. The first time I heard it, he did it in basic training, and the drill sergeant's like, don't you dare say that anymore. You're going to get an EO complaint. And we all kind of looked at what the fuck is an EO complaint? Alan saying brains in the chute. I've heard it once. I don't know it. I'd have to look it up. Guard saying, although something funny though, I decided to shear my lamb gidget. Is that a euphemism? Going to be brutally honest, I'm pretty sure I sheared off a solid 20 pounds of wool and she still pissed at me 2 days later. They usually are. The only person I know who used to shear sheep, whenever he did one of the rams, oh man, he would always have to segregate it at least for a week or two because he would be sitting there and you just see that son of a bitch coming. I mean, it was just like that whole thing on the hind legs really getting rolling and just take off right towards him. And wham! Even without horns. Damn. Thing is, I tried to get in the way. Big mistake. Let's see. Chris says the algorithms don't like you because you know the location of John Connor, but don't say where he is. Speaking of not saying where somebody is, the one who sent me the Rodecaster Duo does not want to be named. However, I will say this. Hopefully you're listening. He says on the bottom of his letter here, Navy, N-A-V-Y, is both a noun and an acronym for never again volunteer yourself. I had to keep that around just so I could do that. And U.S. Army is another one that says, Uncle Sam ain't released me yet. Or if you read it backward, yes, my retarded ass signed up. You know, there's always ones. You know, the only one I know for the Marines is muscles are required, intelligence non-essential. Let's see. Joseph says, my internet is my nemesis this month. I shelter in audio story. Demon says, well, I only found 3 channels in total. If you have another, I'll add it to watch them because I want to support you. I appreciate that. Again, I haven't before you go crazy on that, Demon, understand officially, I mean, on paper, I have 4. 2 of those have been pulled into the Crazy Uncle channel. So I only work on 2 right now. That's it. I would possibly have another one if I could just get another program to freaking work. I don't know what I'm doing wrong, but I can't get anybody to tell me what the hell I'm doing wrong with it. If I can get that Men of War Assault Squad set up and then you guys could do your whole fighting the war and I'd just be an administrator, I still want to do that, guys. I really do. I would have a full nother channel specifically for the fans of this channel to beat the living shit out of each other. But it is what it is. Let's see. Erica says, Sliders, Dark Angel, SG-1, and X-Files were my shows as a kid. I don't remember Dark Angel. I remember Sliders because my sister liked it. SG-1, the only reason I watched that is because when you're in Iraq, you will watch anything. I watched all 10 seasons of Smallville, and I'm sitting there. I'm literally binge watching, hating my life watching that. It was just bad. Oh, you know, you wait 10 seasons to watch a guy you know that can fly, and you barely even see it at the end. It's just it's crazy. Chris says you left out Briscoe County Jr. Yeah, that was only on for what, 1 season? That was a bit of a fun to watch, though. I mean, I forget the name of the character, or sorry, the name of the actor, but he always does an excellent. He puts everything into the part he's in. He did Evil Dead and stuff like that, Army of Darkness, and he's just having fun through the whole thing. So, yeah. Erica says my cartoons were Calamity Jane, Johnny Quest, Batman, and X-Men, the original before it sucked. I don't know Calamity Jane off the top of my head. It sounds familiar. I remember Johnny Quest. Boy, after 9/11, they pulled that one off quick because they didn't want to offend somebody. Piss off. Batman, the original Batman animated series is still considered the best animated show ever. It's just that good. And the original X-Men, let's face it, we all watched it because we just wanted to get through the intro. And, you know, it really builds up. Whoever did that was just really good. Let's see. Demon. I used to watch supernatural and sci-fi shows. Buffy, Angel, Supernatural, Files. Oh, X-Files, SG-1, SG-A. Oh, Stargate Atlantis. Star Trekkie Trek, Farscape, Andromeda. Also watch Xena, Beastmaster, and Hercules. So I guess some fantasy too. Yeah, those were big back in the day. And let's face it, Lucy Lawless was there. She was cast because she was pretty. And she kind of fit the role. She had that look. Looking back at that stuff, it was cheesy as hell. But, that was of the time. I'm not a fan of Farscape. I can have my fill of that. Supernatural, it wasn't bad. I just can't binge watch it. I never watched Angel. I only saw a few things of Buffy. Usually X-Files wasn't on in my house. So, and I remember Beastmaster the movie. Did they made a show? You got me. War Sniper, I hear my handle's name. Yeah, War Sniper. Yeah, okay. Sorry, it's dusty in here. Let the Consunes be baddies, Erica says. They were not always good. Well, that's true, actually. Some of them can be quite gruesome. I mean, I'm not even close to kidding. The only time I've actually written Consune stuff, and this was years ago, I had to do some research, and I'm literally getting nauseous. And I've seen some really fucked up shit in my time. So I'm like, guys, wow. Oddly enough, some of them are just like, as long as you don't touch certain areas, or if you do, immediately apologize, they're awesome to be around. It's kind of weird. Let's see. Demon says, YouTube sucks ass sometimes. Still can't comment unless it's a live stream. No kid, really? I could have swore I seen a comment in one of the stuff, but that was a while ago. You're right. You're right, Demon. I don't know what's going on with that. Douglas says, thumbs up works when I refresh the page. Okay, so you did get it to work. Okay, good to know. War Sniper, I have learned from a Consune lover that there are good and bad Consune, so it would not be mad because it's logical. Okay, yeah. Especially when you look into the one with the SCP Foundation. By the way, don't eat anything while you're listening to that. Just do yourself that one favor, especially if it's rice. Anyways, Alan says, I always enjoy what you put out. Some more than others. Well, yeah. I will admit sometimes I'm a little off and I don't get the best out there. It is what it is, guys. I have to get something out every day or every other day because I got to fight the algorithm. So, it is what it is. I will be usually taking, excuse me, until further notice, I will be taking usually Sundays off just because that's usually when family shows up and you guys, you understand. Let's see. Chris says, when I was a kid, I was so ugly, my parents would tie a pork chop around my neck for the dog to play with me in the yard. They would leave me chained up for hours, and the worst part is we didn't have a dog. I remember hearing that, if my kid was as ugly as you, or my dog was ugly as you, I'd shave his ass and teach him to walk backwards. Yeah, I remember that one. Unfortunately, when you're about 4 years old and you hear that said to your face from a family member, that will fuck your psyche up really bad for several years. Let's see. Erica says, I was limited on local TV. My family was too broke for cable. Hey, my family didn't have cable either. I knew what Nickelodeon was. I never saw any of it. But the thing is, I'm kind of glad because it's some of the stuff that was on there you look at now and you're just like, that's creepy shit. Seriously creepy shit. Just, one of the guys I watch, he has a CVC on, which is like a tanker's helmet, and he calls it his happy helmet. I didn't know what the hell that was about until somebody mentioned Ren and Stimpy. And then I was like, oh, that's what that whole thing was about. So I didn't know either. And the only reason I know about Ren and Stimpy is I saw it on a Nostalgia Critic years ago. Let's see. Demon says, I made sure to turn notifications off for everything except your channel, but it doesn't notify me of your uploads until 30 minutes after I watch them. Still notifies me of channels that I turned off. This has been a common thing with the YouTube for a couple of years now. In all honesty, I should have told people to screw off. And when I was in Korea, I should have just said, I'm going to go get the camera and I'll make my own channel then. And that was like 10, 15 years ago. I should have just done it then and told everybody to screw the fuck off because, you know, what the hell? That's right. We got a $20 super chat from Brian Kemp. Let me write this down so I don't forget you. And he says, late for the show last week. Enjoyed the stories. Well, I'm glad you did. You know, it's why I do this. Well, mostly. Guys, this is being retired. This is not only something that keeps me busy, but it's also a therapy. So I'm grateful that you enjoy it. And, you know, everybody enjoys being, you know, hearing that they did a good job. So, you know, just like a dog, I get my pat on the head from you guys. And no, not a foxy wolf or anything like that. Besides foxes, yep. All right. Thank you again, Brian. Very much appreciated. Let me scroll back up here to see where I was at. And right around here somewhere. Yeah, with Demon saying something. Oh, man. Yeah, YouTube's been kind of, how do I put it? Oh, sure. Yeah, now this thing doesn't work. Oh, you. Sorry, guys. My computer is acting all sorts of weird right now. Like, seriously, all sorts of weird. Hang on. I'll figure that out later. Okay. Demon says, didn't have cable till my senior year of high school. I didn't have cable until I was in college. I was one of those guys that had tinfoil on the rabbit ears. If it didn't come on the local channels, I didn't watch it. Erica said, it's okay. Kind of like West Dragons are bad. Uh-huh. Oh, in the West Dragons are bad. Okay, yeah. It's not that they're really... Okay, yeah, never mind. The majority of them were. A few of them were more based on the Eastern, where they would give advice and train and things like that. But you're right for the most part. Most were hunted to extinction by the king and whatnot. Chris says, last time I was in Japan and Korea, I was in a sailor's outfit. In my defense, I was Navy. Yeah, well, I sure hope so, because you had me freaking out there for a second, Chris, because when I went to Comic-Con, which, by the way, was one of the best experiences I ever had, despite the fact that my feet were killing me and I spent more money on parking than I did at the hotel, I had a blast. But as I was leaving, I shit you guys not, there's this very, very rotund, hairy guy who's about 5'6" in a Wonder Woman outfit. And I just went, no. Because maybe 30 seconds before that, I saw a woman who, except for the fact she didn't exactly build out the front part of the costume, the rest of it was absolutely perfect. I was like, oh, damn. I even walked up to her and gave her just thumbs up. I didn't ask for a picture. I was just like, thumbs up, and I walked by. And that was good enough. She thought it was funny. She laughed. Of course, she was also talking to a little girl who was in a Wonder Woman outfit. And I was about to get a picture of those two. But I didn't. I didn't want to be the creepy guy. I don't just... Who does? Anyway, Demon says those countries were at first just tolerating it, and then they went to deporting, and since it kept getting worse, now they escalated to jail because it just kept getting out of hand. They don't need to just send them to jail. They need to beat the shit out of those guys. I mean, hard. I mean, seriously, if I was around there and say that was my niece or something, and they went up and they start like flipping at her skirt like that while she's just trying to sit on the side or stand next to the door of the of the subway on her phone, I'll go back to jail. I don't care. Let's see. Sniper says, yeah, there are good and bad dragons. My dragon, literally, I'm guessing supposed to be literally make a woman his mate and take a woman out of her own universe and takes her into his own realm. So yeah, the question is he good or bad? Well, that depends. You know, it really depends on how he treats her. That's all. Which is why I hate the character Gambit. When I saw him in the freaking Deadpool movie, I just went, please let this guy die in a horrible way so I can sit there and just clap and say joy. Because if you guys read the original X-Men comics, he treated Rogue like shit. I mean, he cheated on her constantly. And I got zero respect for cheaters at all. The only time you get away is if you do something and then you find out later that they're, engaged or married or whatever. That's the only time you get a pass. And even then, you still have to, one, apologize, and two, out that person to everyone. Bro code, man. Yeah, you got to make that phone call. Hey, I'm the other guy. I don't want to be the other guy. I'm out of here. Please don't hunt me down. Which, by the way, for those who
Hold up. Wait a minute. Something ain't right.
Something is right, because we have another $5 super chat. And I just popped my neck. That didn't feel good. From the Guardian Sage. I know you guys saw what I used, you and MTF Guard got for the last shout outs yesterday. Guardian, I was going to use the one that Guard got, but actually he called that one. So I will just say, may the Schwartz be with you. And Guardian saying, what does the fox say? Well, they yip really loud. They sound a lot like my sister's dog. She's got one of those, I don't know, the dog from Cowboy Bebop, whatever the hell that is. And it's just, I don't know the breeds. But when that thing barks in the house, it physically hurts. It is such an ear-piercing, I actually do, I can't say I know him. I used to know one who actually did tame a wild fox. And it was actually hilarious because his wife put a white covering on the bed. The fox would go up and jump and try to dive through it like they're in the snow. We're sitting there, we're drunk off our ass just watching this thing laughing. Of course, she's sitting there going, it's not funny. Yeah, it's pretty damn funny. Let's see, where was I now here? Okay, Douglas is here. It says, I learned a valuable dose of respect for cops when I was in Germany, and I saw German police work in pairs to carry machine pistols. Even Arabs back down. Yeah, well, that's what happens when you're carrying an MP5 or one of the, basically a Tech 9, but one that doesn't suck. Yeah, I never understood a full automatic pistol, at least me personally. I've cleared too many houses. I don't get it, because by the time you squeeze the trigger once, maybe twice, you've blown your whole combat load all over your hands. And now what are you going to do? You're standing there with something empty. What are you going to do? Throw it at him? I mean, no, this ain't a movie. Let's see, Erica. Back to War Sniper. Chinese version of Kansunes are mostly good. They were known to help lost and honest travelers get to villages or temples. Yes, because they were usually shrine maidens themselves. Yes, you are right, Erica. Actually, the only thing more shown as good luck at a shrine than a fox was a snake, which is very different than over here, that's for sure. War Sniper, even she does take good care of women. I do. Yep. And speaking of a guardian sage who just sent in, he did his normal greeting mortals and other assorted beings. And yep, war's never dragon god bless the sir. Okay. I can actually do that because according to the army, I got the level of a deacon, which means I can't do a sermon, but I can help hand out the other stuff. So guard, why do I just imagine Sin throwing haymakers at his computer while yelling at it at work? Oh, you should have heard the curses that were coming out of my mouth earlier. Because as I'm going through, an entire section just disappeared. Like, gone, period, out, kaputs, nothing. I'm like, Urgh! So I had to re-record, try to insert. It wasn't working. And I'm just going back and forth. And this is the one thing, if you haven't worked with editing software, there's always bugs in every single system. I use DaVinci, and those of you who know that DaVinci's kind of the lower end stuff. It's good stuff. Don't get me wrong. It's just it's got its own personality. You got to work around. A lot of people are saying I need a new upgrade, but the new upgrade's like $1,500, and I told them, So, let's see. Demon said, "Happy for you. Hope you continue to improve." Well, thank you very much. And I hope you continue to do well yourself. Joseph says, magnetosphere is never stable. Panic if it does stay. Well, that's actually true. It will short circuit pretty much everything. It's supposed to be fluent. That's just a little bit of physics for you guys with the magnetosphere. It's never supposed to be perfectly lined up with everything lined up the way it is. It's always wobbly. Just the way it has to be. Just like if you're running, you can't control your breathing or you'll pass out. You lock the magnetosphere in place, and there's some problems, especially where the magnetic lines cross. I don't know the exact science of it, so I can't say anything else because I'll sound like a complete and total fucking moron. But yeah. There's also the fact that it has to be able to shed the solar radiation around like a giant donut almost. It's weird. I would need a 3D model to actually show it exactly, but yeah. How do I put this? It would also leak really bad if it wasn't fluid. I know that sounds weird, but that's just the way it is. Okay. Guardian says the weather has 10, 100, and 1,000-year cycles. Well, they're not that perfect, but you're right. They go absolutely in cycles. In actuality, we are right at the cusp of another one. The reason for this is you can actually look at every rise of a independent nation, or mostly for a new empire or anything like that. Now, this over here is not an empire, which is why I believe this is going to break the cycle. But it's a 250-year period. What happens is when it's a very strong agrarian society and there's a lack of food, you get food riots, and they're going to blame the leadership, and they're going to do a full-on French press with a guillotine on you. And then somebody else rises up, holds everybody together until you get through the famine-ish type area where it's just kind of lean. And then that family will control through as your good years go, and as it comes down and gets to the other end, you hit another famine, and the cycle repeats. However, we are not in that type of society anymore. So we'll see how it goes. Okay, it's already looking like a lean year over here. We should have fields of blackberries right now, all blossomed out. We got shit. The plants outside should be getting a whole bunch of sun and heat. It's only 50 fucking degrees outside, and it's going to storm like a banshee. It's going to be a lean year, folks. Just be ready for that, which means within anywhere from a month to a year, you're going to see prices go up again. So just be aware of that. So I recommend, if you have the ability to do so, learn to garden. Grow something on your porch, anything. Even learning the basics is better than nothing, because you don't want to be questioning yourself, would you shoot somebody over a tomato? It'll be a bad time when you can say yes. So I'm going to leave that one alone. Let's see. Chris says, how about reverse werewolf, where a regular wolf turns into the random dad who stepped out for milk and a pack of smokes? That story's been done. It's a very old one, but it's been done. Yeah, I if I see one that's been done, I don't do it over again unless I totally screw it up and I accidentally get it started. But yeah, I remember hearing that one a while ago. I don't know if it was from Reddit or anywhere else, but yeah, somebody actually had the original story and somebody else made a comic, at least the first part of it, a comic about it. I don't remember the name. Let's see. Yeah, Erica, a bit the jealous type. Oh, before I forget, I want to bring this up. Bro code. Really quick, guys, keep this in mind. If you violate the bro code, we all know you're given the option face or gut. Just be careful if that person is a little bit of the vindictive type, because what they'll do is if you say gut and you get in position, they might actually aim a little lower. You're on the ground thinking, I think they both went inside. Oh, shit. And you're waiting for death at that point. They're going to look, did anybody else hear him say nuts? You know, unless you have somebody who basically outranks them there, you're going to be in for some time in a bad one. And it's just whatever. I've seen that happen. I thought it was funny till I realized that the guy who pulled that joke had actually just pissed off almost the entire crowd. I was really young when I saw that. And I was just like, that looks funny. And why is nobody else laughing but me? What the hell? Yep, Joseph sending the best wishes. Sir's here. Just got out of the hospital yesterday. Ooh, feeling a little better. I'll catch you next week. God bless all. And I left the $50 chat. Yes, you did. I saw that, and thank you. Thank you, sir. I don't think he's in the chat anymore, but here's to you. Let's see, where was he? Yep, somebody congratulating the future grandpa. Cool. Erica and War's never going back and forth again. Here we go. What does it say? Yes to the teddy bear, yes to the dragon, and as for overprotective, I'm not a soft girly, so until I ask for the world that rhymes with whelp, stay out of it. Oh, send the word that rhymes with whelp. Yep. Yeah. Let's see. Ernest is here. Hey, how you doing? He says, finally made it in. Hopefully everyone is doing well. Well, you just missed the sir, and thankfully he's doing a little better. I do have to say this, guys. Feel free to share the love to the new folks who have started commenting on the videos. If you're out there and you see this, you haven't actually been part of the chats or anything like that, just know you are appreciated, every single one of you. So, and actually, I don't know if he's in the chat box right now, but the winner for the last time I posted was Alan Williams. So, yeah, I think he wanted to be number one this time, not be missed by one or 2 seconds. Yes, I do see the actual timestamp. And sometimes you guys go for that, trying to get your name out there. It's so close. It's crazy. Let's see. See, Ernest says a Dark Angel was a good show. I don't know. I don't remember ever seeing it. Was that a Buffy ripoff or something? I don't know. I know the show Angel was. I don't know if it was Dark Angel. Demon says rhymes are words that sound similar to other. Cat, bat, sat, rat, that. What? Okay. War Sniper. Okay. Still does not make sense to me. Why not? Is it a part of English I haven't learned clearly? Oh, boy. You guys trying to give him an English lesson? Let's see. Demon says, it's all good. I'm sure there's stuff from your side of the world that we wouldn't understand. Yes, you are correct. And that's actually one of the things that a lot of people have a lot of trouble with, is understanding that different cultures think different. It's not just a different language or a different way of saying your same language. You know, people have different ways of growing up, different ways of living, different ways of understanding. And that's one of the key things. If you guys want to write your own story, which I do recommend you learn how to do, you might have to actually spend 3 or 4 pages writing out a full society or a full species, what they do, their habits, their culture, what's insulting, what's a promise, you know, the standard mistake of, you know, offering something to a female that you don't realize is actually a proposal for marriage or something, has been done to freaking death, but it still stands to reason. You know, in some cultures, giving a girl a necklace is even just handing the box over and say, here, I bought this for you, not even looking her in the eye, is considered a marriage proposal. So it's just little shit like that. Just make sure you understand each one. If you can't, that's why you always keep your notes handy. That's what I do. Demon says, it's all good. I'm sure there's stuff from, okay, yeah, I just saw that. War Sniper, is it confusing the heck out of me? No worries. Guardian says, I remember catching the first season of Sanctuary when I was in high school. My family had Star Trek, the original series, recorded on VHS. Wow, that is getting there. At least it wasn't Betamax. See, I never was really a Trekkie Trek fan, because honestly, the captain was annoying me, because everything he said sounded like he was trying to do some sort of speech on a stage, trying to emphasize. I'm like, what the hell is this? Is he mentally messed up? What the fuck? Which is why a lot of the Treks, I just can't. The only one who actually kept it within reason was the bald guy from Next Generation, because he would actually change from that whole official narrative or a way he was speaking. He would only do that when he was actually in some sort of meeting, either with another species or when he's talking with his superiors, or, you know, being some official capacity. Aside from that, he toned it all down. And I'm just like, okay. The guy who played on the Trek space station, he tried, God help me, tried, but he could not turn it the fuck off. Every time he has to be like serious or something like that, when it wasn't, so whatever, dude. He always had to speak like this every single time. I'm like, my brain hurts. I'm done. And let's not even talk about the Voyager show or Star Trek STD. Yikes, those were just bad. Let's see. Warsniper says, so you don't mind a guy who's with those characters? Okay. Let's see. Douglas says, SCP Foundation and X-Files are more documentaries than fiction. In some ways, yes, that's true. Okay, hang tight. For some reason, this thing jumped again. Why does it keep jumping? It shouldn't have jumped. Oy, what a pain in the dick this is. Okay, Demon says, I'll always be a fan of Courage the Cowardly Dog and Ed, Ed, and Eddie, no matter how old I get. I don't think I've ever seen any of those. And don't forget Johnny Bravo. Man, I'm pretty. You know, they actually took that off Adult Swim because it was too adult. I'm like, it's called Adult Swim. It comes on at 11:30 at night. What the fuck are your kids doing at 11:30 at night watching something called Adult Swim? Seriously, what is wrong? It's the whole thing is the guy's trying to get laid. He succeeds like what, once a season, and that's it. And the whole joke or running gag is the fact that he's supposed to be actually somebody who's just reaching puberty. He's not actually a full-grown adult, which is why his best friend is just this little girl. You know, that was supposed to be the running gag of it, but whatever. I still think Johnny Bravo was funny. Let's see. Sir's here. Oh, he is here. Okay. I got to go, everybody. I'm feeling better. Thank you all. You're quite welcome, and everybody here wishes you well, sir. See, all there. Alan saying something. Demon saying something. Okay. And see, Demons. That reminds me of the giant muscular guy who walks around as Dora the Explorer. Okay, I'm not sure I know what you're talking about. I'm guessing that's some sort of skit that somebody's been doing. Demon also puts in, I do not tolerate cheating, period. And the thing is, and I did this on the Crazy Uncle channel too. I specifically said it's cheating is the wrong word. Cheating is like, oh, I cheated checkers. No, it's not a big deal. Oh, I cheated at Monopoly. Who cares? It's just a game. No, it's betrayal, not cheating. It's betrayal. Say the right word. And I said this to one of the females I worked with, and she said, oh, I just cheated a little. Oh, you betrayed him. No, I cheated. You betray, and I just kept going. It was like on Big Bang Theory where they're talking to Sheldon. You don't live here. That's my room. I don't live there. She just wouldn't get it. Kept getting more and more pissed off, and eventually she called for reinforcements, and I was like, fine, live in delusional land. She hated me for like a whole cycle on that one. She just didn't want to admit it. Anyways, Ernest says, when I went to one of those cons, I'm guessing Comic-Con, in Charlotte, I saw 4 very overweight men dressed as Sailor Moon characters. Oh. I need a minute. Oh, now I'm starting to wish I brought actual beer and not birch beer, so that magic elixir could get that visual out of my brain. Yuck. Anyway, Demon says, God damn it, man. Now I have to listen to the song. Oh, yeah. What's a fox say? Yeah, fun. Bunch of yaps. Anyways, actually, an old band that's fun to listen to is the Yoopers, if you like that type of music. Just listen to like the 30-Point Buck. It's like guys who are drunk off their ass the whole time. Okay, Guard says, I still laugh my ass off whenever I see a video of a big muscular guy and Comic-Con dressed up like an anime girl or a maid or like a demon, said Dora, or like Demon, said Dora the Explorer. Oh boy. Why? Just why? Oh, my brain hurts. Okay, I need to get on something else. Corgi. Yes, you're right. Thank you, Erica. I appreciate that. That's the type of dog it was, Corgi. Dylan saying, that's a lot of Bolshevik you're talking about. Okay, drink. Sorry, no actual liquor here. Not tonight. Last time I did shot for every time there was a super chat. You guys had me so flushed, but the problem is I was drinking scotch. Never really had scotch before, and I didn't realize it doesn't fit with my body chemistry. And if you guys don't know what Dylan's talking about, it's the whole over at Gruntspeak, where they have a whole bunch of old Army guys like myself, and they talk about political stuff and something that's complete Bolshevik. Oh, shit, I said it again. You got to drink. And that's just the game they play, and he's thrown in there. Appreciate you being here, by the way. Let's see. Demon says, yeah, if you go full auto, you want more than 30 rounds. Absolutely. It's not like I strapped the Charlie Beta 2 onto an M4 before because that's a 100-round drum magazine. I would never do that. No, never. War Sniper says, I want foxes. Would be fun. They're a bitch to house train. They are. If they take a dump on the floor, they'll usually hide it. It's literally like that picture I had of the Chihuahua smiling and says, "Let's play a game. It's called Find the Turd." They'll do that. And the thing is, if they go somewhere where they know they're going to get in trouble, they're wiggling and out of places. You can't get them. You can't grab them to rub their nose in it and throw them outside. It doesn't work. Demon's back with the M249 squad automatic weapon with 200 round belt fed was my go-to in most games I was in. It was also my go-to when I went on my first tour and I walked around with that thing for 15 months. Yeah, 15 months and change. Had my saw with I didn't have the 200 round drum because it made a lot of noise. I had the 100 round nutsack, and yes, that is what it's called. I had another one right here. That was the 200 round split. Then I had a pouch here, a pouch in my butt pack in the back. So that was hanging down. So I had 2, 4, 6, 8, plus I had another in my assault pack that I carried around. So that's 1,000 rounds on me. Why? Because I refuse to die for lack of shooting back. That's just the way it is. Plus, I also had a couple of grenades, claymore, and that sort of fun stuff. And I don't like explosives. Okay. Guard says, "Bro, these mobile ads are so terrible. I can feel myself getting cancer from them." Yeah, I don't. Yeah. I don't have anything to add on that one. Let's see. He continues with, "It was one of the zombie games with a stupid animated trailer, and I'm not even joking. The girl lets one rip, and that was so toxic it turned everyone in the elevator into a zombie." He continues, like, who the fuck even greenlit this as a good idea? Like, what motherfucker went through the time and effort to animate all of that without looking at the shotgun in the corner of the room? That's an excellent question. And I'm sorry. Last time I was stuck in an area and somebody cracked off a fart that I thought was going to turn me into a zombie, he fell over as the doors opened for the next floor because a bunch of us pushed his ass over, like, get out of our way. He stood right in the front too. He must have thought it was funny. Didn't think it was funny when we were stepping on him. Ugh. But still, who thinks that's a good idea? It's kind of funny, but still, what the hell? Demon says, "Why is it so easy to throw off your sleeping routine and so hard to fix it? So tired. Trying to go to bed between 9 and 10 a.m. and wake up between 6 and 7 p.m., but can't fall asleep for shit till like 12 noon. That's just the standard circadian rhythm, my friend. There's no anything for that. All I can say is get a sleeping mask for one. You might need to get put yourself to sleep fluid in you, just a little. Preferably something fairly strong, just to push you over that edge. However, you do not want to be reliant on that. So use it. If you use it more than 2 times in a row, take at least 2 nights off so that your body does not get used to it. That helps. The only other thing you can do is not go to sleep for an entire day, work through the night, and then that next morning you're going to be so tired you're going to be out as soon as you hit the pillow. That's dangerous to do if you need to be alert the whole time. So take that one as you will. Let's see. Guard says there's only a handful to actually are true of what the game says. Yeah, I don't click on them anymore at all. Like most of War Thunder mobile ads or the One Human ad, which takes actual gameplay and mechanics from the game and puts them in the ads. I've actually watched a few of these, and all the ads show the exact same playthrough where, you got to dodge this and catch this one area to get, more gold or whatever the hell. And it looks like a decent puzzle game. You have to swing this and lower that to drop this wall so this ogre doesn't kill you when you go and get the gold, but the gold's on the other side of this lava pit, so you have to be able to knock the water in. But if you knock the water in too quick, the ogre's going to get out, and those, you got to figure out what the sequence is. I thought that was going to look funny. Then I downloaded it. It fried my phone. I'm like, great. Now I have to go spend a couple $100 to get a new one. Thing is, I had to change my number and everything, because if you put the same number, it just downloads it right onto your new phone and fries another phone. I told Verizon about it, and they were pissed. Because the thing is, I went and I got this, I knew this was going to happen, because they didn't want me to get a new number because it was more paperwork. I said, fine, I'll get the insurance. I signed the insurance. I turned the phone on, put the number in, zoink, the phone's out. I said, can you fix this? Nope. Well, I need a new phone. You're paying for it. Boy, they were upset. I can't say I blame them. I'd be pissed too. Let's see. Alan says, if I get the shout out, send a new person instead of my name. I give you the option. Do you have anything in particular you want me to aim for? Do you want Warhammer? Do you want Karate Kid? Do you want, I don't know, Sailor Moon? Whatever. It's like I usually do. Well, if you want me to use a handle, you gotta let me know what the handle you want me to use, because I'm gonna send you a shout out. You gotta let me know something. You can either send it here or send it via the comment section. Either way, I'll get it. Those, don't send an email, because I'm really bad at checking those. That's my fault, guys. But regardless, yeah, if you want to have a handle, I'll gladly use that. And if you want a certain type of picture, let me know. Because if not, it's pretty random. Let's see. Oh, Lena's here. Cool. And this thing jumped again. Why does this thing keep jumping? Holy shit. Okay. Here you go. War Sniper. Sin, can you explain how the contest works to make you announce the person's handle? I got one time first on first reacting. Okay, let me read. I got to read this right, guys. Something's off. Can you explain how the contest works? Oh, and make you announce the person's handle. I got one time first on first reacting to the video, but the next video, I wasn't the one getting the shout out. All right. Here's how that works. The very first person to put in the comment section where the actual sint-text logo is, it is almost always the same color. It will always be a stencil. All right. You got to say where it is, the first one to put it in the comment section. I can see when the first two people are in there, when they say where it is in the comment section, there's actually a timestamp. Now, normally, YouTube has been really good at getting the first one to me first. It's very rare when I have to adjust things. But that's how you get the shout out first. Okay. As far as your handle, yeah, you guys said what you wanted. And that's really it. If you want something in particular, you can put it in the comment section right next to us. Oh, it was in this part of the thumbnail. Send. By the way, put me as, I don't know, Jessica Rabbit with Roger being freaking, pegged by a bull or something. I don't know. It's just whatever it is you're going to throw in there. But yeah, that's how that works. The very first one to let you know, or let me know where it is, that's when you get the shout out. Let's see. Erica says, Dark Angel is about a college-age girl who escapes from an Illuminati group or light group. Too much more is a spoiler. Okay. It sounds familiar. I just don't ever remember seeing it. It says it might be up your alley. I don't really care much for the Illuminati, because when you get a group that's too full of themselves, they end up just doing dumb shit just to do dumb shit. I mean, seriously, it's with the same thing with every single group. They lose sight of why they were originally there. And it's human nature. See, Alina says, I started watching the new Gundam anime. Anyone should be familiar with it because it's UC Gundam. Yes, you see the Gundam on TV because it's the new show. I tried to be a Gundam fan. I stopped watching after Gundam Wing. When they did the whole, and I was in college when they did, I forget, Endless Waltz, I think was the name of the movie. And I shit you not, we're in the main room watching on the big screen TV. And when they showed the guy finally get his, and he spread out the big thrusters that look like angel wings, from way off on the side, we hear somebody scream from the room, holy shit, that thing's got wings. And we're like, either A, he's drunk, 2, he's being an asshole, or 3, he's just enjoying the show. And I'm hoping it was 3. Okay, you guys saying how late is it? I don't know. Right now it's 8 Eastern Standard. Yeah, so I think Erica's on Eastern Standard Time. Let's see. Guardian says most Trekkies don't care about STD, and many don't care much about SNW either. I'm not even sure. SNW. You're gonna have to spell that one out for me. Oh, Alan's Central Time. Okay. Oh, geez, you guys are all over the place. Okay, Demon says the Dora the Explorer guy goes to Comic-Cons and stuff, and it's funny. Okay, I would keep my distance. I still remember being at Comic-Con, seeing these 2 Asian ladies dressed up, and I was like, ma'am, I got to ask you a question. She's like, oh, hold on. Let me get, you want to take a picture? I said, no, I don't want to take a picture. Who are you dressed up as? She looked at me like I had a dick grown out of my forehead. I'm like, not everybody watches the same stuff, lady. She mentioned who it was. I started looking it up on my phone. I'm like, I've never even heard of this. And then as she's walking away, I was like, oh God, don't make me the perv, lady. She wasn't wearing pants. And the skirt was maybe that far down below her friggin' crotch. And as she moved, the front kind of flared out a little bit. And I'm just like, lady, you're going to get us in trouble. Don't do that. It's nice to see, but holy shit, you go that way. I'm going to go this way before I get arrested. Because she didn't, well, granted, most Asian folks by American eyes look young. So she looked maybe 16, 17 years old. She could have been 25 for all I fucking know. But still, I'm not risking it. Because as you know, 15 will get you 20. Let's see. Lena says, stupid dog, you make me look bad. Yeah, I'm sure the dog does that, huh? Anyway, let's see. Erica says, it's about 6 between Indianapolis and Amsterdam. Okay, you guys were talking something else. Erica, BEERUN. Yeah, somebody's going for a beer run. Unfortunately, that song came well after country music. Well, it was flying high for a second, but somebody shot the tail off and it was spinning in on a flat spin, completely unrecoverable. I'm sorry, but after Garth Brooks sold out, everything went to shit. The whole industry went to hell. I used to listen to a lot of the older country music, and it was good. It had a heart. It had a soul. It had talent. Now I can't listen to it at all. I can't. It's just, and that's just me. If you enjoy it, by all means, enjoy it. Me personally, I can't. I can't anymore. For me, country music died when the number 1 song was called Honky Tonk Badonk a Donk. I'm not even joking, guys. If you're too young to remember that, be grateful. Leland says, I think I made it. Yes, you did. Guards here. I mean, this one is pretty funny, though, for our Comic-Con thing. This one guy literally walks in a pair of brown shorts and that mask that looked like Diglett from Pokemon. I don't know what okay. I'm glad you said from Pokemon, because I was about to say somebody's letting their Diglett hang out. What's going on here? Guard continues, like, bro, had the whole interview and everything. It was great. And when he was asked why he chose to go as Diglett, he looked to the camera and said, the memes. Yeah, I'm sure. That's not the best way to be famous. That's to deliberately insult yourself. And let's see. Brian says, need more than beer to dilute that image. Yeah, no joke. No joke. Just, oh. No, you need actual hard liquor for that. It's like they said on 2.5 Men. It's a bad mental image. Too bad there's not a magic elixir that can help us forget. All right, speaking of which, that bottle's empty. Granted, it's just birch beer. I don't want to get too sloppy with you guys around. Let's see. Yeah, about an hour and so. Eric, you're going, oh, whiskey then? Depends on the whiskey. Some of the stuff is called rot gut for a reason. It seriously will freaking make you want to puke. Then again, I used to be able to drink an entire bottle of Seagram 7 out of the bottle over the course of the night. And I would wake up the next morning, go, I just need a glass of water and I'm fine. But then again, we were all there. Our bodies could bounce back. Oh, wait, once the same stuff I was talking about earlier comes out, you'll be able to do that again and not want to just lay down and die. Guard continues, and that's a nice argument you made there, Sin. One small problem. I've hit a landmine in a random spot under your floorboard, so things can get quite explosive in your house. You've hit it. You put hit, man. Okay. Yeah, well. Random explosion, pull my finger. Okay, see. Demon says Indianapolis is about a 8-9 hour drive west of me. Well, it's a hell of a lot farther drive from here. It'd probably take me 14, 15 hours to get there. Let's see. Demon says, I don't think about how big the U.S. is until you actually look at Google Maps and see how long a drive it is. Dude, you want a long drive, go across the 80 across fucking Kansas. It takes maybe 3 or 4 hours, no, 5 or 6 hours actually, if you're going the speed limit to cross Kansas. The whole thing is almost perfectly straight. There's some very little bit of deviation going down, but it's just rolling hills for what seems like forever. And there's nothing out there, just nothing. And I'm just like, what the hell? I had to drive across that thing twice. First, when I went to Colorado from the East Coast, and the second time when I came back from Colorado over to the East Coast. Not that I want to be on the East Coast, but I mean, it is what it is. But yeah, it's crazy. Now, I will say this. A lot of our maps have been distorted over time for multiple reasons. Okay, I'm only going to go into a couple of them. One, the different churches had them redrawn. And when I say different churches, I mean different religions had them redrawn. The one we most commonly use emphasized Christianity in its locations for the most part. The reason why Africa is so absolutely massive is because other religions had a say in this. It was more of a faithful map than it was based on the actual size of the land itself. However, the land is still there. Greenland is not nearly as big as people think it is. Neither is Canada. It just looks that big because they had to adjust the way the map is so they could actually see it as a flat plane. There's also the fact that the last Great Reset, which, by the way, had a lot more to it, I'm finding out, than anything else, when Tartaria was completely pretty much erased from our history, then, yeah, a lot of those maps have been severely altered. Some of them for good reason, though. I will say this, because originally those maps had the North Pole actually had 4 separate islands with a central spire. How do you put that on something when it's now 2 miles of fucking ice? It doesn't work. So you have to adjust them. So some mostly for bad reasons, but some for good. But most of the maps are no, they don't set the size up right. There's always a discrepancy. Okay, give me a sec, guys. This thing freaking moved on me again. Why does it do this? Okay, let's see. Dylan said, dude, you need to get Pop on here. He has a much bigger channel, so it's better if I'm on his channel, not on mine. I will say this. I was supposed to be on his channel during when Blake was still there, when one of those like 4 or 5 different talking heads. I missed the fucking email by like 5 minutes. I shit you not. I go to check my emails. Hey, check in by this amount of time. And this is like 2 days prior. And I had to send him a message like, sorry, I missed your message. I even sent him a super chat during that whole thing. I was like, sorry, I missed it. My fault. But yeah, it's better if I'm on a larger channel. Alan says, on your newest subscriber's name, not mine. Okay. Okay. Anyway, let's see. You guys are mostly talking about different areas of said country. Let's see. Chris says, I beat Erica on the other day, but I'm happy with her getting the win. I'm guessing for the contest, because I still have the list from last week, which is right here. Let's see. Erica got 3 times. Let's see. Julius and Alan got it, and Edge Sight, he came in so close, I gave him a heads up. I mean, he's like a couple of seconds. So, yeah. At least what was coming down on mine. Demon saying, yeah, good luck finding out where I am. Yeah, you guys probably know where I am. It's friggin' on the description meat gazer box down there. I saw you looking. Give yourself one homo suspicion point for the violation of the Man Code Morality Statute, which I can hardly say without cracking up because that is just a funny skit, and it's hurting me that I can't get StreamYards to work right, so I can just click it, and that's it. Okay. Lena said, I've heard about the reverse werewolf joke. Yeah. I didn't hear it as a joke. I actually saw it as an actual story. Eric is saying, give me a map if I could. Okay. Demon's saying he got 45 minutes. I don't know if we're going to be on for 45 minutes. I'm getting down kind of low on the thing here. Let's see. Demon says, you can use Google Maps. Why are you going to visit me? Okay. Dun, dun, dun. Well, maybe Erica can, send up a signal and Ava's going to come flying down at you. By the way, you guys seen Ava in a while? I haven't seen her in a couple of weeks. Hopefully she's around. Chris says, Demon is somewhere around Middlesex, PA, probably slightly west of Carly. Okay. Lena says, yeah, it's UC Gundam like Universal Century. Okay. Universal Century 0079 to 85. Okay. Yeah, I think I've seen that. That was when Gundam X was a thing. No. Yes. No. Shit. Maybe I'm getting... there's so many Gundams and they don't all follow the same timeline. I can get really confused. Oh. SNW, Strange New World, Guardian says, thank you for straightening that out. I've never seen them. Honestly, never have. I have a feeling if they came up and said, hey, you want to write a story on these? I'd be like, okay, what are my parameters? Let's get this done. I'll get it out for you in about 2 days. Hold all the speaking parts and everything. Now, you guys going back and forth here. Oh, that's about an hour north of me, northwest, just mostly north. Yeah. Having trouble finding them. You're giving them directions, Demon. Come on. You're right, Chris. You weren't that far off. He passed through the area when he goes to New Jersey. Why would you want to go to Jersey, man? I should actually be wearing a shirt for that. As a booster, kiss her where it smells, take her to New Jersey. Good old George Carlin joke. Demon said, I'm east of the I-83 and south of Route 30 and help you narrow it down. Okay. West of the Susquehanna River. I've actually been over there. Demon says, I know sin is north of me, and that's about it. Not by much, man. Not by much. If you watch the latitude lines, that's really not that much. If you're in PA, yeah. If you're in the northern part of the state, we're pretty even. And what the hell did I miss?
Hold up. Wait a minute. Something ain't right.
Something's not right because I fucking missed this. Okay. We got Chris, also known as Prozac and Pancakes, with a $2 super chat. He said, I was the one where I said it was next to the big D. Take that one as you wish. So, anyway. Oh, by the way, guys, no, I didn't for tonight. Just understand when you get the news story, I did not deliberately try to make it very questionable and goofy with the words and the phrases. Come on, they just, given certain situations, the jokes just kind of come out, especially if you read them a little interesting wise. Let's see, going back up here, Lena says, I'm excited because I want to build cruisers in my game. Destroyer fleet already served its purpose, and I'm testing new weaponry. Yeah. Now, the thing is, when building a fleet, you have to actually even things out. That's one of the things I got from a few Navy guys, because you want a balance of things. Because if you're too sectioned off, like you have all cruisers, you're going to get outflanked, outmaneuvered, and it won't matter if you try to outgun them if you can't hit the fucking things. And basically anything smaller is there to protect the bigger ones. Gart says, just a heads up, I'm sending you a Gmail with some cool Warhammer 40K Terminator Power Armor fan art for a couple shout outs. I think you'll like them. I'll have to put them in their own folder now. I'll actually label it Guard. Let's see, because actually Erica sent me a whole bunch of stuff, and at first she was just sending me Kitsune stuff, so it's actually labeled Kitsune, but it's got a bunch of redheads in it too. If you're ever in PA, go see Demon. Guard saying, the U.S. is so big. That's what she said. We literally host every ecosystem in the world. That's true, but you could say that about several different places on the planet. But the kicker is that the only reason we host so many different ecosystems isn't the size of this country. It's the fact that we have oceans on both sides. So we get that tidal lock movement bullshit going on. So that's why we have rain shadow deserts. That's the reason why we have the actually, if you include Alaska, we have rainforests, but that's way the fuck up there. But again, surrounded by the ocean, it has a certain climate. Most everything here is deciduous, but we have areas that get almost no water because, again, rain shadows. It is what it is. Lenin says, I don't really believe into Tartaria and mud floods. It's just not for me. I watched debunking videos and consulted with AI on that topic. Got to be careful about AI because it answers not based on what it knows. It answers based off whoever programmed it. However, I'm all for debunking videos. The thing is, I've debunked debunking videos before, and it's actually kind of funny. And Leonid, as far as the mud flood goes, I don't believe there was a mud flood. I really don't. What I think actually might have happened is the fact that multiple supervolcanoes probably blew up If that happens, you're going to have a lot of ash spraying over a lot of places. And the change, if you have two super volcanoes going off almost simultaneously, is going to force a lot of soil movement simply because that's a lot of pressure coming off. And that's going to make a lot of, how do I put this? The tectonic plates are suddenly not going to have pressure where they had pressure before. So they're going to shift. And when they shift, they cause tsunamis. So what I think happened was a cascading failure of systems that they were not ready for. And one of the things about Tartaria is the evidence that is still there is simply this. The Great Wall of China, if you look at the original pictures of it before China rebuilt the top, all the turrets, all the parapets, all the crenellations, everything was actually facing China. It was meant to protect from China. Now, if you look at it now, they've actually rebuilt the entire top to have it on both sides instead of just one. And I'm just sitting there going, why? Why would you want to do that? Well, to protect their ass. That's all. I mean, one of the kickers is the fact that we have pyramids all over this freaking planet, some of which we're not allowed to touch because they're in different countries and they don't want them opened up. There's one in China that supposedly has a basic lake of liquid mercury inside. That's not something you fuck with. Now, granted, liquid mercury inside a centrifuge can give you some really interesting results, i.e., gravimetrics and anti-gravimetrics, also known as repulsor systems, but that's a whole nother conversation. I'm just saying my whole point is the whole with Tartaria, I didn't think it was anything until I started seeing evidence that could not be debunked. The problem is people start mixing multiple ones together, like you have Tartaria and the mud floods together. I don't believe the mud floods were a thing. That's just me. I think there was a huge shift in the way the world is, and it just sunk a few places. Anyway, that's enough on that. So Demon says, oh yeah, I forgot to have a P.O. box, but that's right. That is north of me. Yep. Ava's on Discord. Okay. Tell her I said hi. I probably won't be able to get there. Demons, I got 30 minutes. 30 minutes! Oh, you're in southern PA. Oh, I'm sorry. Chris saying, I'm originally from New Jersey, right next to Newark. I got nothing. So many Jersey jokes going through the head. Can't focus on one. Okay, so I'll talk something else. Let's see. Demon says, I didn't know Chris was so close to me. Newark, Delaware. There is a Newark, Delaware, but I think he's talking Newark, New Jersey. Anyway, Leonid, in my game, it's literally hard to outflank cruisers because they have 270-degree firing arc. Destroyers, on the other hand, have a very narrow firing arc and will get you into trouble when other ships outflank them. Okay, good to know. There's Demon talking about my P.O. box about 325 miles northwest of me. 5 hours drive closer to me than Eric is. Well, yeah, the thing is my grandparents were over by Johnstown, a little town called South Fork. It's an old coal mining town. And yeah, I know about the topography and everything over there in PA. And, you know, I even before the 219 was finished, I've actually driven that thing enough times. I've almost fallen asleep driving that thing, going through all those small towns. And, yeah. It's one of the few places up north where you still see those oil derricks or oil dikes, whatever the hell you want to call them, spinning. They're not constant, but they still pump them out. Let's see. Elena says, when cruisers starts attacking, they go zigzag pattern. Well, they're supposed to. That's actually standard. Standard 1/3 corrections is what that is. And that's every so often you turn, and that's originally a way to stop the torpedoes from well, ending up right up your backside. Let's see. Guard says, I just about hurled my controller at my TV with this BS moment in War Thunder. Oh, War Sniper, fall asleep. Watch out for the black dog. Actually, I saw the black dog in the Allegheny State Forest. No joke. When I was doing, if you guys go into my channel, go into videos and go into the older ones so that the oldest video comes up first. One of the stories there, it doesn't actually say the black dog, but it's like, I saw it, it's there, I can't believe it's real, or some shit like that. It's when I just got started, because this was supposed to be a horror creepypasta type channel, because I find those stuff to be hard to write. However, I was going through Allegheny State Forest and I was starting to go off, and I saw that son of a bitch like jump through my windshield. And I'll tell you what, I was not tired for hours after that, but I wanted to get the fuck out of that forest. And for those who don't know what the black dog is, the black dog is supposedly a spirit. It looks to you when you happen like an actual black dog is in the street, but it's running at you and it jumps at you. And it's there actually as a warning. It's more of a guard dog than anything else. But a good dog that knows you have to be awake will bite you to keep you awake if it needs to. And that's what it did. Let's see. Guard says, I'm using a Su 100, what? A KV Hall with a naval gun strapped to it. Oh, God. Somehow this Panther F variant managed to tank being shot in the front plate. Took literally no damage. Dude, I don't know what's wrong. Maybe it's a glitch. Or maybe somebody's hacking the system. I don't know. Yeah, Demon was saying that dog is good. Yeah. I've almost seen the black dog a second time driving down I-90. And honestly, it's just, no. It's enough to make, if you ever seen the black dog, you know it's enough to almost make you shit yourself. I mean, seriously. No joke. Ugh. When you see it, it does look like a dog just came through your windshield. It's about to fucking bite your face off. Guard says, then we both kind of awkwardly started at each other because one of my teammates knocked out his barrel. My repair and reload was faster than his, so I stole his kill. Still won. Good. The only thing I don't like about War Thunder, and I don't have a chance to play because I just don't have the time, is when I used to see some of the videos, is these clans would sit there and just do their thing. They make their video, but the team actually loses the game because they're out fucking around trying to get this perfect sight of these planes coming in formation. I'm like, yeah, 2 seconds after that, and they laugh about it. They're trying to go over the city, and guys are just sitting there with their AA guns going, oh, now you die. 3 kills, just slide right down. It's like, yeah, fuck. Anyway, Lena says, people will also use evidence of the old buildings as evidence of Tartaria. Why there is no old photos? Maybe if they looked on the internet, they could have found one. I've actually done this one, Leonid, and sometimes the photos are just not there. There's no other way to put it. In some cases, the building is not shown being put up. The building is just shown there with some wheat fields around it. And they're like, oh, look at this building we constructed out of nowhere. There's a beautiful one actually over in Western Ukraine. And was it Tajikistan or something like that? They have another beautiful one that apparently in year 804 or some craziness suddenly appeared out of nowhere. I'm like, okay, that doesn't make sense. And that's one of the things. We could go back and forth about Tartaria all day and all night. My thing is there's something there. I don't know if it's an actual civilization. All I know is, like Napoleon said, history is nothing but a bunch of lies agreed upon. I don't want the fucking lies. I want the fucking truth. I mean, if that proves that I'm wrong, so fucking be it. Anyway, Demon's here saying, I was 100% just like the little girl in the one video. Can I pet that dog? Yeah. Or the black wolf. Yeah, right there, War Sniper. Let's see. Guard says, he shot my barrel and broke it midway through reload, but one of my teammates got... Okay. Yeah, you just said it. Awkwardly staring at each other. Since we had 12-second head start on repair, it was 9 seconds through my 20-second reload. I beat him this time, punched a hole through the front plate and out the engine. So you skewered him, you went in through the mouth, and you shot it out his ass. Let's see. Lena says, the things is that the humans are very good at building new buildings on top of old ruins. Yeah, but certain things... I will say this, some of it just doesn't make sense. It doesn't. Why would you have buildings that are below street level? And we're not talking just one set of windows. We're talking 3 or 4 or 5 stories, actual windows, glass and everything in them. Doesn't make sense. Why is that there? Over in California, you'll find several of these. And you can't say it's from a soil liquefaction, because for something to shake that hard to liquefy the soil, those freaking brick buildings would have come apart. That's why the earthquake in 1906 was so destructive. All those brick buildings just fell on people. They couldn't get them out. Most of them died of dehydration, which, by the way, is a hard way to go. Hey, Steve, how you doing? You're just in the middle of a bunch of different stuff we're talking about. Demon says, I got bit a lot as a kid. Still tried to pet the dogs. Yeah, but if one comes at you and you think he's gonna bite you, kick it right here, right on the jaw, make it bite its own tongue. They'll walk away. The meanest dog in the world, you can do that to, and they're just gonna walk away. Although my trainer told me if the dog's gonna jump on you and you can like grab it, you take your fist, shove it down his throat, you wrap your arm around, and you just keep shoving your fist down. It's going to fuck up your arm, but you're going to be alive. What happens is the dog's going to throw up, and it's going to seal off its windpipe. And you just got to hold it there for about 10 to 15 more seconds. And as soon as he goes limp, you just toss him off to the side and get the hell out of there. By the time it comes to, that's not going to kill it. By the time it comes to, it's just going to be like, I don't want to do that shit again. But by the way, you're still probably going to need stitches. Alina says, I think they should just go to Antarctica and maybe we could find old pyramids and aliens on that frozen continent. Possibly. Just like in Alaska with Mount motherfucking Hayes. Yes, I did watch the Y-Files. Guards also here saying, also, I feel quite proud of myself. I beat Metro 2033 and Metro last night a week apart from each other, and now I'm downloading Metro Exodus. I'll have to retry last night for good ending. Okay. Demon says, Mom hated me because I would always bring in fluffy animals I found in the woods behind the house. Well, it could be worse. It could be like our first dog. Every time we gave away her puppy, she would go out and find like rabbits or something like that and bring the actual baby rabbits in. And then she would whine because the teeth of the rabbit aren't designed for, suckling. Let's see, Erica, if I was the adult, I would have just picked her up and went into the cabin. I'm missing something. Chris says, dying of dehydration is like going out with the worst hangover ever. Yes, as you seize out, no joke. You're actually like convulsing. I've seen that video one time, and that is enough for me. After that, I was like, no joke, none of us are gonna go without water. I was just no fucking way. We always be topped off on water. Ugh. I take it, Chris, you've seen it. It's not cool. Guard says, Jesus Christ, I literally have to be the pacifist just to get a good ending in Last Light because apparently the bad ending is you blow up the bunker as a last resort. Asset denial. You know, and you just want them to sit there and it is what it is. Let's see. Demon says, as a kid, I was just like her. As an adult, I would think about it, but know better and would take her away too. Yeah. We were talking about the video I referenced with a girl asking pet that dog. Okay. War Sniper, like with the little boy, his rabbit that got unalived and used for Christmas. Ugh. That's by his oh, they ate it. Well, that's what rabbits are for. My sister had a warren basically when I was a kid, and yeah, I did not enjoy the fact that I had to basically set up a trap so every time they came out, the trap would go around the neck and tighten up as they fought, and they would just pass out and die right there. I'd have to go in, grab the snare, pull the rabbit out. It's not dead. Hold on. Wham! It is now. I did not enjoy any bit of that. Tastes good though. If you cook it right, it's delicious. If you cook it wrong, it's. Lena says it's a good thing that Doctor Who's TARDIS blew up in the new series, and they had to do a new by generation because they can't resist doing it. True, but I also heard that Doctor Who, well, this new group broke the laws of physics in more way by sucking and blowing at the same time. So yeah. Demon says there's a bear on the front porch and a little girl wants to pet it. Okay, War Sniper. I don't remember that one. Let's see. Guard says, and my favorite fiction absolutely eviscerate in all three games. The No Mustache Man group. I don't want to get this reported saying the actual name. YouTube's been real touchy. And the end of the song, the boy had taken his father into the cabin and unalived him because his father unalived his pet rabbit. What was the song called? I have no idea. I have no idea. Yeah, Erica, yeah, this you don't view them as a pet. You view them as food. Don't ever name the food. That's one of the key things. Never, ever, ever name the food. You don't name I don't name my chickens. I know at one point I'm just going to leave the door open and let the critters get them because laying hens don't have much meat on them at all. And I'll tell you what, doing in chickens is just, ugh. I mean, you got to grab them by the legs, walk. They're calm once you get them by the legs, but then you got to walk them someplace. They know exactly what's happening after you do the first one. So as soon as you lay them down, they start kicking and screaming. You got to grab that freaking hatchet and it's quick. And then you got to throw it all away before it bleeds all over you. Chris says those giant rabbits are cute, but they can't be solely revealed for survival relied for survival alone. Yes, rabbit starvation, you're right, is a thing, and you have to mix them with stuff. Rabbit stew is good. Well, any stew is good if done right. You're right. Rabbit starvation, for those who also has the name protein poisoning. If you have nothing but protein and you put no fats or anything in your system, your body will begin to shut down because it cannot process pure protein without things like fats, a couple legumes, something. A lot of your vitamins are just not going to be there. So it is what it is. Demon saying 10 minutes left. Well, right now we're scraping the bottom of the barrel with the comment section. So what I'm going to do is, since I've been talking here for 2 hours and didn't feel like opening this one up here, or else I'm not going to sleep tonight. bad enough I have trouble falling asleep or staying asleep. So, let's see. Do I have a button for it? Yeah. Whenever I'm around, just remember. Oh, yeah, sure. Now it doesn't work. Motherfucker's been working all night pretty much, and now it's freaking dying on me. So, yeah, everybody's starting to pretty much go around. Why I sleep around 03. Not all of us are night owls, my friend. And I'm sure a lot of people hear me get all excited or telling me to
Relax. I'd rather not piss this thing off.
But it is what it is. Anyway, before I say something also that's not going to be YouTube friendly, that's going to make everybody go swing or something stupid like that, I'll just give the safety brief for everybody. If you drink, you don't drive. If you drive, don't drink. Everybody wants to drink and drive. Feel free to kick his ass, because it's easier to tell somebody why you broke your buddy's nose than to tell them why you're going to their funeral. Also, if your little soldier is going into the bush, make sure he wears his poncho. It gets dirty in there. It also gets very, very wet. If you're doing your job right, that is. If you don't get the euphemism, put your head in the gutter and get back to me. Also, if you're going to partake in some of the stronger stuff, like you're going to do the sniff test, you better invite me first. And if I can't get there in time, don't bother buying the stuff. Let's see. Anything else? Oh, yes. Be careful. The young critters are now out and about. I almost hit a deer today. So do yourselves a favor. If you are out where there are deer or things like that, if you see one, there's probably more. Please, for the love of God, slow down before you end up with one going over your hood and straight in through your friggin' windshield. Or if you're like Brian, who's on his motorcycle, that could be even worse, a lot worse. So take care of yourselves, okay? Why? Because I want to see all you back here next week on sint-text Live. And this is your host, sint-text, wishing you all a wonderful week and good health to everybody. And from here on out,
Ejecting.